Ladies and gentlemen.
We have no idea what episode it is.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Double
Are you going
Bogey
to
Show.
tell us?
Ryan got it. It's 215.
Episode 215.
Oh, I thought you said no.
He said 215. Then he said 214. So I said, nope. And he said 215. I said, yep.
Gotcha.
Tyler, we're hitting a tough spot in the golf world in general.
We are. There's not a
for-
lot happening professionally. We're done for the year because it's fucking 25 degrees when we wake up.
Yeah.
Nobody misses it yet either.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
yeah, there's other things going on.
for sure. Like obviously it's hunting season. We're focused on that.
Oh, can I tell a really cool hunting story? I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it in on You Betcha Radio.
Yeah. Hey, and this hunting story is presented by who?
Nicolay Law.
Boom.
Russell Nicolay is the first guy I'm calling if I get injured on a hunt.
If you're out hunting for personal injury lawyers, Russell Nicolay is going to be your guy.
He's got to have a billboard like that. Hunting for a lawyer? Call Nicolay.
Blaze orange background.
Yep.
He's got the flannel taken care of. I think he's got it all taken care of in terms of hunting season.
You could consider moonlighting as his marketing guy.
Okay. I'm no designer, but I can come up with an idea here and there.
Idea guy Ryan.
Yeah. So, guys, if you're ever personally injured at work or just in general, and you got questions, Russell Nicolay, he's a good contact to reach out to cover all your bases, essentially. And we appreciate Russell Nicolay for sponsoring the podcast, nicolaylaw.com. Give our boy a call, and he'll be sure to either help you out or point you in the right direction.
Yep. Okay. Opening morning, rifle season, Minnesota. Driving out to the stand. Northern Lights above the stand. I get to the stand egregiously early, so I've got a 45-minute wait in the dark at least. But it makes it a hell of a lot cooler when the Northern Lights are above your head.
They're sweet.
So I got to sit in 45 minutes watching the Northern Lights while an owl hooted at me the whole time, which sounded really cool. He had to have been 30 yards from me. And then it started to get a little bit light. And I could see something jumping around on the grass, and I had no idea what it was. It looked real weird. And then it finally got light enough to see, and this thing came back, and it was 40 yards in front of me. And I texted my dad in the stand, like, Dad, what animal is the combination of like a marten and a raccoon, but is bigger and kind of like black fur up top, reddish brown on the bottom?
A badger?
I was thinking badger, maybe wolverine, but I knew wolverines are super rare. And he guessed fisher.
Okay, yep.
So I Googled fisher, and it was. I'd never seen a fisher before in my entire life. So I got to watch a fisher for like an hour and a half. And eventually he took off running, and then I had a buck and a buck chasing a doe right in front of me.
Looking to get it on. I saw a couple more deer after that. And then I'm sitting in this kind of bowl with a ridge out in front of me, and I see a coyote walking down the ridge, right? Jeez,
and
all
so
kinds of shit going on.
I'm watching this coyote, and he's about to walk open into the open swamp. And I got my binoculars up on him, and I'm looking at him, and all of a sudden you're just thundering through the swamp. And 4 deer come running out of the swamp towards me. It's 2 does, 2 fawns. One fawn's a little older. One's a baby, like just lost its spots. Just a little itty bitty baby. And they're getting chased by a buck.
Okay.
And they run towards me, and they don't see this coyote. And so I've got the binoculars up on all of them. And the coyote is 6 feet away from these deer, but they're looking back distracted by this buck chasing them. And they have no clue. And I watch the coyote hunker down in the long grass. And I'm like, no fucking way is this happening. National Geographic shit right in front of me.
That's survival of the fittest at its finest.
It is. And so the does are completely focused on this buck. I'm watching the coyote. He starts to creep forward, and he fucking pounced on the itty baby fawn. Like he pounced on it, and it was I've never seen a coyote actually act predatory. They're typically scavengers, like will feed on carcasses and shit, or an actively dying animal. That's why when you hunt a coyote, you use a predator call, like a dying rabbit.
Yep.
And so I've never seen one actually act aggressive. And he jumped onto the back of this fawn, and the does started to beat the shit out of it.
Up on their hind legs.
Yeah, they got on their hind legs and started kicking at the coyote, and they saved the fawn. The fawn's completely fine. And so then the does take off, the coyote takes off, and this buck is just sitting there like, what the fuck just happened?
CB'd.
He got absolutely cock-blocked by this coyote. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to grunt at him. So I grunted at him and he came running at me. And he wasn't quite big enough to shoot. It was just fun to do.
Damn.
And he came running at me and then got confused that he couldn't find the deer grunting at him.
Yeah.
So he just laid down and took a nap in front of me for the next hour and a half.
He had to have been
He was
exhausted.
He'd been chasing those does all night, trying to get some. And he laid down in front of me and slept until I'm like, I gotta fucking go. I'm supposed to meet everybody for lunch right now. You gotta get up and move, pal. And eventually he just woke up, walked away, and I climbed down. But it was a super cool morning hunt.
Damn, that's kind of sick, actually. Couple things on top of that. I've never seen the Northern Lights in person. I've only seen pictures of them.
Yeah.
I say Northern Lights is super cool. I only base that off of pictures because if pictures can do something justice, seeing it in real life can do it more justice.
So the Northern Lights might be the only occasion where it's the exact opposite.
Really?
Because your phone or whatever camera lens can capture the colors better than the human eye can.
Oh.
So actually taking a picture of it makes it look cooler than it really is.
Interesting.
So like to the naked eye, they kind of looked more like white lights sort of dancing in the sky. And then I took a picture of it and it was like beautiful green and pink.
Interesting.
So like it barely had a green tinge to it when I was looking at it with my naked eye.
Well, and because I haven't seen them in person before, I'm building a new house out in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I said the first time that I don't want to see the Northern Lights until I'm out at my new place. So it's kind of like one of those things, like before I had my child, I was like, I don't know. It had been so long since I held a baby. And I'm like, I don't want to hold a baby until I get to hold my child. Before my kid, I probably only held like 3 or 4 babies in my life. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. Second point, fishers. There are fishers in my backyard. There will be fishers in my backyard. I talked to the neighbor and actually I saw like an outdoors page from Fargo here repost a guy who had trapped a fisher like on the river in my backyard. So I texted my soon to be neighbor. I was like, hey, is this like right in back of our place? And he goes, yeah, I've seen, I see fishers a decent amount, not a ton, but I've never seen one in real life either.
No, it's a super cool animal. It's like a big ass weasel that's a little thicker.
Yeah. And they're mean.
I've heard they're fucking killers.
Yeah. So I gotta keep my dog in
he just played in front of me. He was like,
yeah.
He'd swim around under the grass. His head would pop up and he'd pop up and he'd just bounce around and he's just dicking around.
Yeah. That's kind of sweet. I don't have any good hunting stories from this last weekend. Last point on the hunting topic. I'm old. Tyler, I'm 0 for 5 in my last 5 pheasant hunting outings.
Jesus Christ.
It's actually unbelievable.
And you didn't get drawn for a deer tag.
Didn't get drawn for deer tag. Didn't get drawn for turkey tag. So I'm kind of just like, I don't know. Hey, do I want to go exercising this Saturday? Sure. I'll throw my pheasant hunting stuff on. I'll grab my gun and I'll bring my dog.
I'm just going to go for a walk.
Exercise.
I'm going to go for a walk with my gun.
Yeah. And that's kind of what it is these days. But
that sucks because we talk about all the time at the end of golf season. We always have hunting to look forward to, and you kind of don't.
I look forward to the excitement that my dog gets in her eyes when she sees the orange coming out. So that's what I do it for these days.
But that could lead us into what we can fill the void with here in a couple of weeks, Ryan. Sim season. I know it doesn't quite scratch the itch as much as outdoor season, but it's something.
It does. I feel like it does kind of scratch the itch like early on. Let's say like December and January. Then it's like you're kind of, I don't know, you're getting a good feel for the simulator. You're starting to like get things figured out again after playing outside all summer. And then February hits and you're like, Jesus, we gotta go somewhere. We gotta go somewhere and just play outside.
I want to feel the sun on my skin again.
Yeah, I just want to like take my shoes and socks off and just like play barefoot down in Arizona or something.
Hey, you could take your shoes and socks off in the sim if you want. It might
be
a little weird because it's at work, but I don't think any of us are going to care.
Yeah, and there's probably like granola bar crumbs and shit that would get stuck to my feet and whatnot. But Yeah, sim season is upon us. Did we mention last week that we're thinking about doing like a little different format? We're thinking about doing teams of 3 this year instead of teams of 2. Does that make sense to you guys?
Okay, so that makes sense what you just said, but the way it was described to me is confusing because I was told that there would be teams of 3, but the teams change every week.
Nope. So it's the same it's the same team of 3 every single week, but your individual matchup. So like, let's say us 3 are a team and then we have another team of 3. Like we're always going to be on the same team, but I might be playing A week 1. I'm going to be playing player B week 2 and player C week 3.
Gotcha.
So your individual matchup switches every week, but your team of 3 stays the same.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's just a stroke. Does stroke matter or is it points? Like, so let's say us 3 are a team. You and Noah win your matchups. I lose mine. Do we win as a team 2-1 or does stroke matter?
See, I haven't gotten that far.
I think with the wide range of talent at the company, if we want it to be competitive, it cannot be stroke. Because there's a certain someone that if that team just loses every week if we're doing stroke.
Yeah. And granted, it is handicapped. And like, I think said person's handicap, like we may be able to get up in like the 30s and 40s.
Yeah. It's just, it's a lot. I mean, trust me, it's a lot.
So yeah, I don't know. I still don't know the logistics of it, but 1 week also, it could be a 3-man scramble, like us 3 versus them 3 in a scramble format.
Okay. So then we got to do it non-stroke, I think.
Yeah, no, I think every week will be different.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe 1 week you could have 2v2 and then the single person left on each team could go 1v1. Or again, Jared had the idea of doing 3v3.
Mm-hmm.
And at surface level, it just sounded like a good idea.
Yeah. And the reason that we've never done teams bigger than 2 is because it's really hard to coordinate.
Yes. But if you're playing, if you're playing 1v1 against someone on the other team, then it
right. It just like the getting a whole all 6 people to do a 3v3 scramble, not going to happen.
Yeah. Logistically,
unless we do it in the middle of the day when we're all here,
right?
Which I don't know if our boss would love.
We're gonna have to figure something out. I don't know if anyone listening has ideas on how we can make a 3v3 league work. Let us know.
Yeah,
we're open books at this point. Mouths shut, ears open. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen to suggestions.
Noah, what's your handicap? Roughly. I know you don't have an official
probably
one.
Like I'd say 16 on the high end, and then probably like somewhere between like 16 and 18.
Okay.
Because I think you guys, the first year you originally put me at like a 23 because I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you sandbagged the fuck out of us.
And then we had to adjust it.
Remember a year ago, everybody, when we were bitching about somebody sandbagging in the league? It was Noah.
Oh, for sure.
It was Noah.
Yeah.
When you all heard us talking about one specific group that were sandbagging their asses off, it was Noah and Jake.
100%.
Cat's out of the bag. You've been exposed, Noah.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna put Noah down as a fucking 4.
Yeah.
Can't sandbag us then.
That's true.
And I don't know if I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out handicap system, and because like outside handicap does not translate into sim golf. Like your handicap's gonna be better, but we don't want it too good because I don't know.
I think I'm worse.
In a sim?
Yeah. I can't chip in the goddamn thing. I'm way better at chipping in real life than I am on the simulator. I don't know why I can't conceptualize. It'll tell me that I have a 30-foot chip or I'm 30 yards from the green.
It's because you're hitting in your ball. You can't,
right,
your ball can't go 30 feet. It can only go 12.
I can't picture it in my head.
I'm the same way.
So I truly think I'm probably better outside.
Interesting.
I mean, I guess
you got some touch.
The gimme circle, if the gimme circle is generous playing on the simulator, then I'm probably better on the sim.
Yeah.
But if it's like a 3-foot gimme circle on the simulator, I'm better outside.
Yeah. No, I can understand that. Putting too. Putting's difficult in real life. It's also difficult on the sim. You can't feel it out.
Yeah, I'm not even attempting to hole out on the simulator. I'm attempting to get in the gimme circle every time.
Yeah. Just talking simulator golf. Over the last couple of years, I feel like there has been thousands of new simulator companies that are opening, even just in our area. Not thousands, obviously. I think in our city, Fargo, North Dakota, of 200,000 people?
Something like that.
Let's say Fargo Moorhead, 250,000 people. There's got to be what?
It's like 6 now.
I think there's more. I think there's like 7 or 8. But then out of those 250,000, say there's like 5,000 people that play golf. I don't know if that number's accurate or not.
God, maybe 3 years ago it was that number, but now it's triple that. Easy. Especially with the tee time issues, and you got to get a tee time like a month in advance to get a simulator round in.
Yeah. I feel like there was a huge trend of simulators that were opening, and now it's just like, okay, we have like, how do you even pick what simulator you want to go to?
I mean, it kind of picks for you because you can't get a tee time anywhere. It's whatever's open. That's where you go.
That is true.
Like I'm not even kidding you. For a long, long time, there was only one simulator place in Fargo Moorhead, and you had to get a tee time like a month in advance.
For sure. Yeah. And or
unless you wanted to go at
9 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, no, even those are full. Like the weekends are easily a month in advance. Mm-hmm. Mornings during the week, a month in advance. The only chance you could get in on like a 2-day notice is like a 1:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday when everyone's working.
So when does this, like, when do things trend back to normal?
I don't know if they're gonna.
So then what do we do?
I mean,
in the meantime,
for the simulators, they just build more.
But I already feel like there's simulators that are closing down because of lack of business.
Really? I don't know. One of my wife's friends, her folks own one of the ones in Moorhead. Okay. And they've said business is fucking booming.
Okay. Well, that's a good start. I mean, the initial investment is not cheap either.
No.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's damn near more expensive to start a simulator, what do you call it? Simulator business than it would be to like start a new restaurant. Because
and they're doing both because most of these are restaurants too.
Definitely more of an upfront charge than
any
business.
We're talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars just in technology, and then to get whether you serve booze or not, I would hope like
they kind of
have to.
There's not a single dry one. I don't think
either. So you got to get liquor license. Like it's a fucking
liquor license.
venture.
Most of them are food, so you got to staff a restaurant and a simulator company. You gotta buy all the equipment for the kitchen. You gotta buy all the equipment for the Sims. Like it's for sure not an easy investment.
No, and it's like in our area, I mean, Sims are good for let's say conservatively 4 months, 5 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And then what? And then, I've never even had the thought to go to a simulator in the summertime.
Same.
Even if like I have a late night itch, I just won't golf. I'll maybe see if there's something for the next morning that I can just like piggyback on.
No, like all summer, I forget that our simulator at the office even exists.
Dude, the thing hasn't. I think I turned it on just to show a buddy because he's looking at building one in his new place. I turned it on and like our subscription to GS Pro has expired.
Yeah, I came here the other day with my kids just to dick around on like the basketball hoop and stuff. That was the first time I've turned it on in probably 4 months was to watch cartoons on YouTube. Yeah.
It's, I mean, it's just, it just gets lost in translation during like the 5-6 months that we're able to golf outside.
Yep.
With that being said, I finally did get my clubs into the simulator. So I think that's a good step number one. I think step 2, we got to re-up the subscription. And then I think within the next week or so, I'm going to maybe try and sneak around in.
Okay. Yeah. So this winter, I'm headed to North Carolina.
Nice.
In January, Wilmington area. So if any of you listeners are from there, give me some golf recommend. Also, what's the weather going to be like? Do they get a winter?
Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so obviously I'm going to try to golf. So like whoever lives there, give me the inside scoop.
Yeah, North Carolina is not like it's not like your number one golf destination.
No, my
Nor is
sister
it like
moved there,
top
so
20, I feel like.
I'm just visiting her, and if I can golf in January, I'm absolutely gonna.
For sure. Yeah. Bring see if you can get a Q club.
That's smart.
Throw it in your bag.
Actually, that's a great idea because I rented clubs when we went to Arizona for Christmas last year. It kind of got expensive.
Yeah, rental club. I don't know. I feel like I'll just pay the $50 checked bag fee, and I'll deal with the nuisance of having to lug those things around until I get to wherever I'm staying.
I would if it wasn't like family vacation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like I gotta check a car seat, not my clubs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. No, I completely get it. Yeah. Well, this is year 2. This is your second year in a row being able to go somewhere in the winter to possibly play some golf. I think I'm gonna get skunked again this winter.
You can come on my family Christmas if you want.
You going to Arizona again?
No, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. That's a family Christmas.
Yep.
I probably won't crash that. Again, building the new house. I
Are you sure you don't want to come with me and 15 of my relatives?
It would be kind of fun. I think I'd be a good, I think I would be a good buffer between everybody, where like if one of you got sick of the other, like I could kind of maybe step in between and like smooth things out a little bit.
Okay, so here's one piece of advice that has nothing to do with golf whatsoever. If you have a big family trip, don't plan too much shit, because we avoided that completely in Arizona because we had like 2 things planned.
Yep.
Otherwise, every group can do whatever they want.
Yep. That's
So like if you were sick of someone, you could leave. You could go fuck around and go on a hike. You could go
fly
to a
back
farmer's market. You could if you wanted.
Yeah, you fucking fly back home.
But yeah, there was zero strife, which I think not all of us being trapped together for every single activity. If we were, there would have been some issues, I think.
Yeah.
But we weren't. So hot piece of advice. So maybe we don't need your buffer services, but you can still come if you want.
I'll probably skip on that. I do appreciate the offer.
Yeah, think about it a little harder and then let me know.
I was thinking about Sim League a little bit, and I think to get a general idea of handicaps on Simulator, because none of us have touched that thing for months, we should turn it on. No warm up, no nothing. We just play around, and then whatever you score on that, like we can maybe use that as handicap.
I'm totally cool with that.
Granted, like you're gonna get better, and then like
we can do it.
I did skewed, but
I did meet season adjustments last year, and I feel like people like that.
I think it was really well, like fine tuned last year.
Thank you.
Everything was like close and felt like reasonable. Like nobody was getting like blown out.
Yeah. Again, I hated the par 3 course deal. I fucking hated that.
Those with the bumps was tough.
Very tough.
But still, the best teams still won.
Yeah, for sure. It was
so like I was frustrated with those complaints. I'm very frustrated because the teams that should have won. Like the seeds, the tournament ended up exactly how it was seeded. 1 seed got first, the 2nd seed got second, the 3rd seed got third.
I think me and Jack were the 2nd seed. We didn't get second.
Yeah, me and Blair.
I thought you guys
Blair were in the championship.
I thought you were the 2 seed.
No.
Classic sandbagging Noah.
No,
they beat us. They beat us to go to the championship.
Yeah, they sandbagged their handicaps. So
I remember Jack played like dump when
he did. Yeah,
when the bright lights were on. Too. Jack played horrible.
Yeah, I did carry the team most of the season, which is fine. That's kind of just what I'm here for.
If anyone's wondering, I got last.
You did, but you had a good time doing it.
I did. I had a really fun time getting last place. Which, if my dad heard me say that, he'd be disappointed.
Yeah, he would fucking beat your ass up. Anyway, Tyler, I want to get into the article that I had sent you earlier today. Mm-hmm. And should we take a break first, or should we just get right into it?
I think maybe we should take a break and gather our thoughts.
Sure.
Are you that exhausted? You need a fucking break already?
I'm so tired.
Take a nap, Noah.
All right, I'm good.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk a little bit more simulator golf, and who knows, maybe an extra way for some of you low handicappers to make some extra money. All right, Tyler. Sim heavy episode here, but I felt like this was needed for everybody. And I don't even know if we should be talking about this, because then it's just going to bring more eyeballs
And more competition.
to what's going on, more competition.
We're letting people in on our business plan.
Yeah, and less money for less opportunity for us to make more money
Right.
because of more competition. Okay, so let me pose both of you this question. Before reading this article from My Golf Spy, did you know that you could make money playing in simulator tournaments online?
No, I did not. I know that
I didn't either.
You can make money off your buddies playing at the simulator.
Correct. And whether they pay or not determines whether
True.
you can make money.
Get a
or not.
contract written up, Nicolay.
Yeah. So I ran across this article and the title of it is How to Make $90,000 Playing Simulator Golf as a Side Hustle.
Hell yeah.
Now, again, $90,000 is that pertains to the subject of this article. This guy being Jordan Weber. So the article outlines Jordan Weber, how he used to play Division One golf, and then kind of just, obviously lost the competitiveness, kind of got the yips a little bit here and there.
Yeah, his college or his amateur career sort of petered out.
Yes. And I mean, this is actually, I'll pose this question. Do you think it's harder to rise in the ranks to professional golf than it is to professional baseball?
I don't know a shitload about professional baseball. I know that there's probably more farm league steps in golf, isn't there? There's like 4 leagues you gotta like place top 20 in, and then in baseball, like you could just get called up randomly.
Yeah, but in baseball, and I apologize if I miss any steps, but like you get drafted or you sign as a free agent. There's rookie ball. There's like short A season. There's long A season. There's double A, triple A. I think there might be one more in between. There's independent ball. There's a lot of steps. And to go from one rank to the next, you're just probably either by injury where they have to call you up or by performance. It's a subjective rank. It's a subjective lift in rankings for baseball players, where golf, like you can finish in the top X amount of players and then are automatically boosted up into the rankings.
Okay, so I'm still going to stick with golf for this reason. I think it's probably harder for golfers to get to the top level because every decision is performance based.
Okay.
In baseball, there could be a string of injuries that get you up to the MLB. Yep. There could, even if you're the best player in AAA, well, not the best player, but the best player on your team in AAA, there could be no need for you on the active MLB roster.
Yeah, I mean, you could be an outfielder in the Yankees AAA organization, but when you have guys like Aaron Judge in the outfield, like even if you're hitting 350, maybe they'll find a spot for you, but maybe they're just going to let you sit in AAA, keep crushing it, gain more confidence, and then call you up
and it's
when needed.
This is a tough question too because it's so position based.
Yeah.
In baseball, like you could be a below average professional catcher and then get called up to the league because all their catchers are hurt.
Yeah, or catch bullpens or something.
Right.
I would catch bullpens in the MLB.
That's a great gig, dude.
For $450,000 a year. I don't know what the league minimum is these days, but yeah. Anyway, Jordan Weber, former college golfer, had discovered that you can make money by playing in tournaments on a simulator. Now, he started playing tournaments with the GS Pro software.
Yep, which is what we use.
Yep, and then he transitioned over to playing in tournaments on the TrackMan technology.
Yes, because they had bigger tournaments or something like that.
Bigger payouts.
Yeah,
more money involved. And the beauty of this whole thing is that you don't have to travel anywhere.
No, you could have it in your garage. He literally had it in his buddy's shop, didn't he?
Yeah, like you don't have to travel anywhere. You can on a week's. So these tournaments get posted on like a week's notice. And it's first come, first serve basis. So if we hear of a tournament that is posted, all 3 of us can sign up if we pay the entry fee of let's say $100+. So it doesn't matter how good of a golfer you are. You just have to sign up at the right time and you're in.
Also, just quick one of my favorite tidbits from the article, Mr. Weber, his college career his professional career didn't pan out. So what is a former college athlete end up in?
Did he go work in
Finance.
financial advising?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, he said,
Which is good because he's now managing his own finances, which he needs to because
Yes.
he's damn near making $100K a year just playing sim tournaments.
right. And it said like he did okay. The first one got a couple $100, so money back plus some, and then started to take it seriously because as we've talked about in the first segment, simulator golf is different than regular
time.
golf. Like you've got to learn how to adapt and learn how to chip, which I don't know how to do, and figure out how to putt. And like he talked about the key to putting is it's all equation based.
Yeah.
Right. Like it gives you the incline, it gives you the rate of the slope, right? And your distance, and you plug that into a math equation in your head and putt.
Wild.
Yeah. It's super wild. And he uses he uses some like broomstick putter, they said.
Yeah. Yeah, which I think what is the broomstick?
I think it's
putter
just a
again?
really long one that like Bryson uses, like you
Sure.
latch in your forearm.
I think that's an arm lock. I don't fucking know.
That's the hold. I have no idea.
I'm dog shit at putting, you guys. I'm not going to speak on that.
I'm good every 3 rounds. I'm really good at putting every 3 rounds. And then I'm okay. And then I'm fucking horseshit. And then I'm really good again.
And I feel like the same goes for simulator golf, where like I could be lights out. And remember, these tournaments do not have 10-foot gimme circles like we play in.
No, he said 8.
Oh, really?
Some have 8-foot gimmies.
So if you have the wedges dialed, you may not even have to putt.
Right. So like think about that. Like if you could figure out chipping, you could make a shitload of money. I mean, obviously golf is not just chipping. You got to do the rest of it good too.
Now, is it? Do you know if it's handicapped or not?
I don't recall because I just read it right before we did this.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything about the tournaments being handicapped, but he did mention 8-foot gimmies at some tournaments.
I wouldn't think that they're handicapped. I would think it's just it'd be like a PGA Tour tournament where like not all those guys have the same handicaps.
Right. And they film the round to make sure there's no cheating going on. So you have to film and submit your tape. There would be no way to verify a handicap. Like you could have one on the software, but you're not going to film every round and send that to them to verify your handicap.
Yep.
So it's got to be straight up.
I mean, there have been, maybe a breakfast ball or two here and there, but there have been rounds where I've damn near I've shot even par or like 1 under.
Yeah.
Do you think I have any shot of making $20-$30 here and there?
Okay. So I do think you could win money eventually. I just don't think you're going to be net positive. You could win money in a tournament at some point, but I think at the end of the season, you're going to be down 5 bones easy.
I agree. And I think it said like they cap most of the TrackMan tournaments at 1,000 entries.
Yeah, and most of them do not fill up.
Correct. So again, I don't know the competition that is signing up for these tournaments. I would assume it's pretty good. Even like
it sounds like it's really top heavy. Like there's a group of like 25 guys around the world that are very into these tournaments and they're always competing at the top. And then the rest are Tom, Dick, and Harry's.
So dude, could you I wonder when the courses get announced for these tournaments.
A week in advance. And then you get a week to practice on that course before the tournament.
But couldn't you just film it? Couldn't you just play like multiple rounds every day and film them? So when you do shoot a really good score, then you could just go ahead and submit that video.
So I'm sure they have some sort of precautions built in like that, like showing the date somewhere or a timestamp of the footage.
Okay.
I'm sure there's something built in to prevent that.
My luck is I would submit my first video and then they'd be like, hey, why are there cuts in the video after your drive on hole 1, which clearly you forgot to cut this out, but it clearly went OB by 50 yards.
Well, I hit a tree. It bounced back in.
Members bounce. I paid the fucking membership.
Yeah. Wi-Fi was spotty, so the footage cut out.
Yeah. So yeah, this guy has just like turned his what was once like his dream to play professional golf into just making a shit pot of money playing simulator tournaments.
Well, and it also said in the article that it qualified him for like the DP World Tour and stuff because he has professional status by making money playing golf. So he was able to play in actual DP World Tour events and he made the cut one time.
Interesting.
So that was his dream to play professional golf.
Mm-hmm.
And he had basically given up on it and simulator golf got him to that.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool if you ask me. I mean, I always think that's sweet when somebody chases something and eventually gets it. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just interesting that he's winning these simulator tournaments, right? And I think it goes to show how different they really are. He's only made the cut one time in a real tournament.
Yeah.
So he's got to be shooting like crazy scores. They didn't say anything about his scores, but crazy scores in these sim tournaments. And then, I mean, doing okay.
Right.
In the other ones.
What would be cool is that if you had to like the day of the tournament, you had to like live stream your round, and obviously on the back end, TrackMan or GS Pro, whatever, they'd have to have people monitoring rounds or whatever. But if there was like a live leaderboard going on, because what happens is like you play your round, you film it, you submit it, and then you're like, okay, shit. Well, so I guess now I got to wait until final results come out to see what place I got.
That's kind of how they do it. So I've never, it was not a real tournament, but you can play in a live tournament on TGC, and I've done that.
Okay.
So there is a live leaderboard, and it shows you who's through, what they were at this point.
You've played in one of those?
Yeah, it's the same as the video game. You know, like TGC is basically the same as 2K.
Okay.
2K20 golf or whatever it was, whatever year it was. And you could play in live tournaments on that because the motor, the core of the game is the exact same as the simulator.
Gotcha.
So you play in like these little 20-man live tournaments like you would online on a video game, and you have live updates. That's TGC, completely different software.
Yeah.
But I imagine that you get to see that.
Huh.
And I bet you're right. I bet you it is a live video. And then that's what gets uploaded. You're recording it live and it uploads when you're done.
You can watch it. You can watch his round.
I saw that. There was a link where you could watch one of his most recent wins or something.
And it was streamed on YouTube. So,
gotcha. So
it just saved the VOD, obviously, but it's like yeah. So he streamed it 7 months ago. 56 minutes, 18 holes.
Damn.
56 minutes to win 90 grand.
Yep. And
I don't think I don't think he won 90 grand in that tournament. I like over the course of the tournaments, he totaled 90 grand. God, too bad they weren't cash tournaments and you wouldn't have to submit to taxes, submit to the IRS. What a cool concept though.
It is
like
sweet.
I actually didn't know that there was money tournaments that you could that could be played through this software.
I mean, I didn't know that either, but it makes complete sense when you hear it. Like, why wouldn't there be?
For sure.
Like there's fucking live money tournaments of Buck Hunter.
That is true.
So like, why not have them in golf?
How about Golden Tee?
I'm pretty sure. So we were in Iowa shooting small town bar tours one time, and we were at this bar called Hoots.
South Dakota.
Yeah. Sorry, South Dakota. And they had a Golden Tee in there, the really nice one. And there was this guy who was freakishly good at it that talked about playing in tournaments. But I think his tournaments, you would go to the bar and there'd be like multiple you play on. I don't think he was playing online or anything.
Right, yeah.
But he had like a character that he had spent money on to dress differently. You get a Golden Tee card you scan that pulls up your character.
Nice.
It was insane. He made me play Golden Tee with him for like an hour and a half. It was really fun right away, but it was like, buddy, you got to let me get off this game. He just kept swiping his fucking card so we could play more holes.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to go home.
Yeah, get me the fuck out of here. I feel like there will be one day where I'll just run into someone that I don't know. You know, we introduce ourselves and then it's kind of like hey, tell me a fun fact about yourself. And he's going to be like, hey, I'm top 10 in the world in TrackMan simulator golf.
Which is a sick fun fact.
Is that, I think being top 10 in the world in sim golf is cooler. Is it cooler than being top 10,000 in the world in professional golf?
10,000. Yeah. I thought you were going to go top 100.
No, God,
no.
That's really hard.
I don't know. I'd put the line at top 1,000. I think if being ranked 999th in the world in regular golf, I think would probably be cooler.
It would be interesting to
I don't know, would it though? I couldn't tell you who the 999th best golfer in the world is.
No, I couldn't either.
But I can now tell you who the best sim golfer is.
Yeah, I mean, this guy got to number 1 in the world, which is actually insane. Because if you think about how many simulators are out there, and TrackMan too, you could play these tournaments off of a square piece of turf and a net in your garage. You don't need the whole enclosure, because the TrackMan is portable. So you could go anywhere.
Yeah, I think this is also just a great way to justify to your wife buying a TrackMan.
For sure.
Like, I'm going to make it back. I'm going to make this money back in the first couple tournaments. I promise.
Yeah. I mean, hey, $100+ entry fee.
But if you want me to make the money back on this TrackMan, you got to let me practice in the garage every night.
Yeah, it's the whole you got to spend money to make money type of deal.
Yep. Spend time too. Time is money.
Yeah. I am very curious. Obviously, we don't have a TrackMan. We have the Unicore IXO with GS Pro.
Yep.
So I am willing to spend money on an entry fee to play in one of these tournaments.
Yeah. How do we find where they are?
I have no idea.
You want to do a quick Googie?
Just GS Pro online tournaments for money.
Word for
Online
word.
Paid.
And hey, give me a tournament that is like, I don't know, hosted somewhere over in Europe or something that starts at fucking 3 a.m. in the morning to increase my odds of entries. Get me in one of those, because then I get the best shot of at least not getting last place.
Anything, Noah?
Yeah, no, I'm looking, and I just, because there's so many different simulators and whatnot and different softwares. So I'm not finding anything. Real money tournaments. This was from 2017. Is this like some black market tournaments that he's
I have no
entering in?
idea. What did you Google?
GS Pro online paid tournaments.
Put simulator in there. Put golf and simulator in there. I would also like to know how often these tournaments are played.
There's a simulator
Register-
golf tour.
Yeah, I saw that. Register for SGT tournaments and compete. What's SGT?
Simulator golf tournament.
That makes sense.
Throw my info down in there. Don't do that.
Okay, I'm gonna sign you up. You're signed up.
Okay. Again, there's got to be something out there.
So yeah, you gotta sign up at there's a SGT has their own little website. You sign up. You got to pay a membership. It's $80 for 1 year.
Is
And-
SGT a type of software though?
No, it's a separate website that hosts these tournaments.
Okay.
So it's $80 a year. Then you have to, obviously you need to be on GS Pro, and then you can just register for tournaments as they pop up. There's one I see. I was trying to click on it and I was confused, but obviously now I know you got to buy this like a
When is there-
subscription. There's one on November 18th. There's one in 5 days. Butterfield Championship. I can't click on it for details. And then there's like a list down here too of today's rounds. So like people who have signed up and played.
Okay, what list me the top scores.
It's not listed by that. It's listed by just who's played the most recent, and I can't sort. But like, here's a couple scores. This guy's through 7, he's +4. Through 5, 1 over.
I would assume they're playing
Through
the back
10,
tees as
1
well.
over.
I would assume so.
Through 5, someone's 4 under.
Okay, that's pretty.
Yeah, this is the Butterfield Championship. So I'm looking through, and like there's like sim leagues on here too.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah,
but you can see what they're playing, and like this guy's playing in the Butterfield Championship.
On that SGT, it looked like there was a scramble league.
Yeah, there's a whole thing on here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Really?
This is this is actually kind of interesting. I didn't know.
That might be more fun than our teams of 3 thing, to actually just join a worldwide league.
I think so too. That would be interesting.
But how do we get everyone involved?
Could you just make 2 teams
See
then?
who wants to be involved. So I'm gonna be honest, I know at least one person's not going to want to be involved in that.
Huh. I mean, I think scramble tournament, like, you just have to get one good guy in your team.
Yeah.
Well, I'll dig around in it a little bit. After
Yeah, I
this.
think we totally should.
I'm gonna maybe clear my afternoon.
come back with that.
I'm gonna have I'll have my assistant clear my afternoon. My assistant be myself.
Noah clear his
And,
afternoon.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to dig into this a little bit because the way it sounds, it's not just solo individual stroke play. You can also do scrambles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2-man, 4-man, I'm sure.
There's-
I don't know. Just said scramble tournaments. I didn't click into it because I was looking for the unicorn one.
Sure. While the initial investment to this, for someone who doesn't have a sim out there, it's not going to be cheap. So you're going to have to scratch and claw your way back just to get to even money if you're trying to, make a little side hustle money here. But it sounds very intriguing. And I think I would rather do that than, I don't know. I think I'd rather do that than go play in like a local simulator. I don't know. Local simulator scramble tournaments sound kind of sweet, actually. But something fun to do. Something to get the boys riled up.
Yeah.
Just think about that. That'd be a blast if we just signed up for a weekend one. Just played it Saturday morning. Had some fucking Irish coffees.
You can bring your competitive juices too and push them on to someone you have no idea who they are. Like we're not getting fired up at each other.
Right. I was just gonna say that would
Yeah.
save a lot of animosity and bitching to the commissioner when
Right.
Miles gets beat one week.
That is true.
And there's embedded rules in this website. You don't have to deal with a single thing.
Yes.
There's rules that are set. There's auto putt leagues. There's like traditional leagues. There's all sorts of things on here. So it's pretty deep, actually.
We
I
might
had
have
no
to
idea.
fucking mess around with this a little bit.
Well, there's only
could we-
one way to find out.
Is
you
there a
guys.
build your own league? Could we make a league for the podcast?
Oh, that would be sweet. That would be really cool if there was people that were able to do that.
That would be tight.
That'd be very cool.
That I'm not sure of. I think we would have to make an account and dig into that.
Yeah, let's figure out how to do it ourselves first before we invite the world to it. And then I have not just the people in this office bitching at their commissioner, but also all the listeners.
Interesting. I'm fired up right now.
Yeah, no, that's super exciting. That's a lot of cool stuff there.
I didn't even know that this was a thing. I'm sure there's a lot of, again, we might have just cut the segment out. Again, we're adding more competition than we need right now. Just kidding. It would be sweet to have a breakfast ball sim league. It'd also be sweet to join a worldwide tournament,
Mhm.
scramble. I also am curious just to see like where I would end up. And I'm not going to fucking win this thing. I'm not going to get top 100. I'm not going to get top 500, but I just
Unless
be curious.
400 people sign up. then
That is
you will.
true. That is true. I would just like to see where I would be at playing in a solo tournament.
You know who could add? You could bet you if you DM'd this Weber guy from the Breakfast Ball account, he'd help us out.
Maybe we can get him on and talk to him about logistics.
That'd be kind of neat. Maybe he wants to be on our team.
Yeah.
We get
suppose
world
probably-
number one.
We better we better message him now before this podcast comes.
Yeah,
out.
everyone's gonna TM. We're TMing him. Dibs.
Okay, well we'll dive more into that before next week's episode. Maybe give you a quick update on what direction we decide to head, and if we can do a breakfast ball sim league where you could play it anywhere. I don't know how all that works. Tyler, maybe you want to head that up?
Only if everyone signs a contract that they can't bitch at me.
No, just to see like legit. Yeah, oh yeah, you're talking if listeners sign up. There's no bitching to you about.
Yep, and office members.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Well, I have some research to do, and we're gonna get this thing figured out.
God damn it! Now we have homework for our own podcast.
It's fun homework though. It's like there could be a little return on this homework. There's no, besides getting into college and maybe like a scholarship or two. The return on like high school classes, like fuck, you're gonna make me sit here for 7 hours and listen to. High school is good. Anyway, that's all I got for this week.
Me too.
You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, well, fired up. On to next week. See you guys later.
Love you.
Love you.
Yeah.